it's also some of that turning point, like looking around, like when I was trying to figure out like where do I want to go if I'm wanting to do something that I don't like. So I suppose that separation in terms of the work and where I wanted to go was kind of like, okay, like don't know if I'm as interested in working in a fine art gallery space, and I want to maybe try and work a lot more in kind of service photography in terms of someone has a need, they don't know how to articulate the thing that they're needing to get out of it, or they have an idea and how can I assist them in making sure that idea becomes a reality, or help them come up with an idea. And also just seeing how like badly represented people are sometimes. And also I think it was a gap for me where I looked at like even just like pictures of people like who are incredibly like amazing in what they do, but they have such terrible profile pictures. And then you've got like somebody else that might be either on the same level or wherever they are within their same fashion and presenting also on a panel, but they've got an incredible picture, and that picture of them all of a sudden makes them feel more important just because it like looks more beautiful and professional in the way that it's presented. And I was wondering like how like why is it that people just don't have great pictures in that respect? Because for me it's so tied in with a sense of professionalism when I look at somebody and being like, oh wow, you really take care of your image. And I think I suppose that is a thing for me, is a massive thing that's happened with the age of social media and like people needing like LinkedIn profiles and really pushing their online presence and shaping how they're seen and found and discovered and projected online. Because as we can see, like just the way that the public and social media like works, they can completely like tear you down within 5 seconds or build you up or see you as someone that's been long-standing just if you have something that's beautiful and professional looking like and found easily online, I guess. So yeah, it's a thing that I think is like quite important now in terms of managing image, I guess.
Yeah, managing image, that's a really interesting way of putting it, right? Like managing one's image, which leads me into the next question, like who is your role model?
Oh, it's such a funny one, because I think like I am not sure that I have one, in a sense of I suppose what I'm like what I suppose I'm getting at is that I haven't been looking at any one person, and I think the thing that is most attractive to me right now in terms of my role model and learning is more just how people are executing their practice from a business perspective, rather than necessarily looking from a technical perspective. So I'm not even interested in the who is doing it. I'm more interested in the tactics that people are using and kind of pulling from of like vast majority of people like doing online research and things, and I suppose listening to podcasts and things around like the practice and what people are doing in their work. I don't know if it's even relevant to name drop, because in a way I'm not that interested in individuals or follow them for very long to make them significant enough. But I think that's been the beautiful thing about having such a vast online resource, like research space, is being able to like dip into all these resources and just pull what I need to execute like in the direction that I want to. Yeah, I suppose that would be my answer to that. I don't know if I can name drop at this point.
Yeah, you don't have to name drop. I was also thinking now while you're speaking about that course that was, I think it was through UCT, called the Business Arts Acumen.
So I went on a course. Exactly. I went on that course. It's no longer offered by UCT. It's now at the Cape Town Creative Academy. So they're based next to sites.
Elaine Rombol's
and it's yes, exactly. So it's business acumen for artists.
Business
so
acumen for artists.
Yes. I went on that at the end of last year. I got a bursary for it actually, which was really nice.
Well done.
I
Well
was feeling a
done.
bit broke,
Yeah.
and then it worked out.
So I once had a cup of coffee with Elaine Rumble, and I was quite taken aback by her philosophy behind her business, and the service that she provides, or the service that she does, and that is generating value for your practice, you know, and value as in money, energy exchange, because it is an exchange of energy, and that value exchange is vital. And I think that that's a massive shift that's happening in the world, and it's obviously prompted through social media and groups and networking of artists stepping up and forward and saying, we need to tackle this conversation about payment for our work, and how we get remunerated for the work that we do. Because I mean, we all know this, we all know that it's very difficult to put an actual price tag on our work and on the work that we do, but to say, you know, like start paying up now. But I want to invert that and say that it's up to artists to start charging and step into that conversation, because a lot of the time artists have been saying, people aren't paying me, but where are we stepping into the conversation and saying, this is how much my work, this is how much I'm charging per hour, this is how much I get paid for what I do, and I'm not going to do the work unless you pay me.
Sure. I think what was really nice for me specifically about doing that course with Elaine was, I think what it did was, one, the course, something that was unexpected from it was that it really made you look at your own sense of self-worth, as well as your own sense of what are like the things that are telling me that I'm going to fail. Like, who is the voice in my head, and like in what ways is it telling me that this isn't going to work out, and to pinpoint, like, from the very beginning, before you even start the business, like what are they telling you in terms of like the 50,000 ways that this is not going to work out for you, essentially. And like,
I'm going to interrupt you quickly, but it's that conversation.
Yeah.
Sorry to talk over you, but I want to jump in there very quickly. It's like that voice, that public voice. For me, I don't know if you've had the similar experience, but it's come through the kind of like public understanding of artists, that when I said to the world, I'm going to become an artist, the overwhelming response that I was confronted with was, how are you actually going to survive? Like, yeah. How are you going to survive, right? Never mind how are you going to make money, how are you going to survive?